Here's something I came across about 30 years ago. It's a way of dealing with 3 playing cards. You have to cut them in order to get them into this position, and this is called a burr. It's 3 pieces, and the X, Y, and Z axis, as it were. There's a horizontal card, and there's 2 vertical cards at right angles. It's quite interesting. And the pieces for making them are just 3 cards. One's got a cross piece in it. There's a cross over there, and that's going to be the horizontal card in the center. The other cards are going to form a crossover, and they have to be 2 sorts actually. One of them has a big slit in the middle there, and 2 little slits on the side. And the other one has 4 little slits there, 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 and there. Slit there, slit there, slit there, slit there. And you start by inserting this to form the cross. That's flat into there, that pushes into there. And that's, well, nearly 2/3 of the card done now. You've got a nice little cross over there, exactly as this shows. And all you've got to do is get the piece in the middle. How do you get that in? Well, with a bit of force and persuasion, that eventually works its way down like that. I went through it, it's quite fiddly, but eventually you can get that with a bit of bending, because cards, the thing about cards is they're flexible. They flex quite some way before they take a permanent bend. But eventually, with a bit of effort, this middle card, with its crossover, is going to work its way down until it occupies that middle position, and that's what you're left with. Very nice indeed. So that's 30, 40 years ago, I think. Very recently, some Japanese designers have come up with unbelievable clever stuff. They started looking at whether you could get 2 cards going down there, and 2 and that, in all 3 directions, 6 cards altogether. Then they said, let's go more. And what about 3 cards in all directions, and 4? And, oh, goodness me. There's 2 geniuses at work I discovered here. One is the chap who designed them, and the other chap who's assembled them. So here's a 2x2x2 version that the Japanese invented, but that was made by my own fair hand over probably about a week's work. So I'm very slow at thinking of things in 3 dimensions, but it's slightly on the tilt too, because it's not quite so accurately made. But it's got 2 cards going vertically up, 2 cards going towards you, and 2 cards going across the view. So a perfect little burr, but goodness me. The most interesting thing about it is the actual cuts you make are extremely simple. Only 1 cut, in fact. Well, only 1 form. You do a zigzag cut here, and you do a little right angle cut here, and you're left with a card looking a bit like this. I'll do it with a red bit, it's probably better actually. That's the only cuts you have to do, and all the cards have the same cut. Here's a little right angle tab, and here's a little zigzag. When you put them together, oh, it's extremely difficult, but eventually you'll end up with that, and all the little cuts occupied. One other feature makes it difficult is those cuts can't be just a straightforward cut. They've actually got a cut which is double actually, so it's got an air gap in between, so that will slide in like that without disturbing the card. If you didn't do that, as you push this in, you would make this flip sideways. I exaggerate like that, but it makes it flip sideways. But by putting a cut in it with a bit of thickness, a bit of air gap in it, it means it allows it to do that. And you must do that for all the cards. It's quite fiddly. But goodness, what an effort to do that. The 3x3x3, well, a friend of mine's got one, but and as for the 4x4x4, I've got a picture I've had for a long time. But eventually this friend very kindly found one that was a bit battered, and he gave it to me. So this is the pièce de résistance. I have no intention of attempting to do that. It's a slightly different cut, but again, very simple. And you get 4 cards in each direction. And it's astonishing, not only to design such a simple thing, but the second genius is his Japanese colleague who assembled it. Amazing, absolutely amazing. The biggest wow I can think of.